we were discussing about the goal of our devotion and love, the goal of our life. I was telling that, all Shastras are telling that our goal should be fixed first. Where to go? What is our aim and object? And then we can make decision about our way. In what way we can do this? I have told something about this. So we should know something about this from Chaitanya Chaitamrita. How he is telling about our goal. Yes, you should know also this thing, that what is really bhakti. There are so many things nowadays going on the name of bhakti, pure bhakti. But that is not pure bhakti. Very rare had some understanding of the real bhakti. So first we should know what is real bhakti. So Rupa Goswami, inspired by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had told in Bhakti Goswami that anyabilasita sunyam jnana karmat dhyanapatam anukulyena krishna anusilanam bhakti niruttama. You should come here. Give that place. What is the meaning of this slope? You should speak. Translation.
So, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad, being inspired by the mercy of Satyanandana Gaura Hari, he has composed the most super excellent definition of bhakti. Anyabilasita sunyam jnana kama dhyanabritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhakti uttama. What is bhakti? Uttama bhakti is the constant and uninterrupted cultivation of all of the endeavors of the body, the mind and words, along with the cultivation of spiritual sentiments, meant exclusively for the pleasure of Krishna. Such devotional activities should be completely devoid of any other desires but to please Krishna, and they should be not covered by the activities which are in search of a reward. That means karma, fruitive activities, reward-seeking activities. And it should not be covered by jnana, that means the cultivation of knowledge for the purpose of attaining liberation. And it should not be covered by tyag, renunciation, and yoga, and other practices. This is known as Uttama Bhakti.
Uttama Bhakti, real Bhakti. But nowadays, so much adulteration are being made in Bhakti. Mixture of karma, mixture of jnana, mixture of yoga, so many things. So like a water, drink in water. Then there is ocean of water you cannot drink. This is alteration of salt, so much you cannot drink. Or in drains, so much water going on, but you cannot drink. In this way, in Bhakti there are so many mixture of Bhakti. Really they are not Bhakti. But in this world, nowadays, especially in Kali Yuga, all the mixture of the Bhaktis are going on in the name of pure Bhakti. Like Sri Rupa Goswami has told, or all acharyas have told like this, that there are three kinds of bhakti. One, pure bhakti, Sarup Siddha bhakti. Then Sangha Siddha bhakti. And then Arop Siddha bhakti. Arop Siddha bhakti and Sangha Siddha bhakti are actually not Suddha pure bhakti. You should define what is Arop Siddha and what is Sangha Siddha.
Srila Rupa Goswami has, by his closest mercy, defined three types of bhakti. So, Srila Gurudev described Swarup Siddha Bhakti is real bhakti. But there are two other things that are known as Arop Siddha and Sangha Siddha. If you want to know what is Arop Siddha and Sangha Siddha Bhakti, first of all, we'll have to understand what is Swarup Siddha Bhakti. Then Arop Siddha and Sangha Siddha, they can easily be understood. So, Swarup Siddha Bhakti means that activity which itself is entirely composed of the activities of pure bhakti. This is of 9 types: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Or it may be of 5 types: Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavat Sravan, Mathura Vasa Srimurtira, Shradaya Sevan. Associating with the pure devotee, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, doing Nam Sankirtan, living in a holy place, and serving the deity
with red eyes. I want that also be straight. And then carefully, otherwise Maya will come and Maya will sit on your eyes, making your eyes reddish. And some and then you have coming from so distant places. I am coming from India, so don't waste your time, a minute time in sleeping or doing sleep.
So, Swarup Siddha Bhakti means 9 types or 5 types or 2 types, Shravan Kirtan, like this. The activities which in and of themselves are wholly and solely composed of devotional service. Then we come to Arop Siddha Bhakti. The word Arop means to attribute. In other words, the activity itself is not composed of bhakti, but because the devotee is performing this activity with the intention of pleasing Krishna, therefore he is attributing the quality of bhakti to that activity. For example, in the 9 processes of bhakti, we will not find farming there. Though someone may be farming and taking the fruits and offering them to the deity, but farming itself is actually not bhakti. So because they're taking the fruits and vegetables and offering them to Krishna, it may be called Arop Siddha Bhakti. It is a general activity, but it has been attributed the quality of bhakti because of the intention of the devotee.
Also you can understand by the example of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj was remembering the mantra of Vasudeva Krishna, and he was in austerities, in trance. He gave up water, any grain fruit, even air, and he stopped his breathing and remembering by his heart, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh, this mantra is of Bhagavat regarding Krishna. But who is Vasudeva Krishna? Himself Krishna. He wanted to please Krishna. But for what? For pleasing Krishna or for his self-gain?
For his self-gain.
For self-gain. For his sense gratification. That he will have a very big kingdom and he will taste. Though he was pleasing Krishna by his mantra, but the mood and the goal was something else. So this is not pure bhakti. This is Arup Siddha bhakti. No connection. Like we are making a school. Anywhere in 64 kinds of bhakti, there is no mention of Gurukul, cow shedding, anything, or making a garden for. These are all like Arup Siddha. But if they can have some link, that fruits of the garden will be given to Krishna. Or the boys will learn something etiquette and they will chant, remember Krishna, and in future they will be devotees. So there is chance something. So these are all Arup Siddha, not very. No Kirtan, Smaran and all other things. So these are all Arup Siddha. Then Tanu Siddha.
Dhruv Maharaj ji is bhakti is Arup Siddha or Sakam? Because he is doing
both Sakam Bhakti is divided in all these things. Same thing. But name is different. What?
But he's doing Vishnu Smaranam, and this is one of the 9.
Not a Smaranam Vishnu, but chanting the mantra only for Krishna, for Vasudeva Krishna. No help. His mood was different. Sakam Bhakti. Sakam Bhakti is divided into so many parts.
Then, so this Arup Siddha Bhakti is prone for the conditioned souls in this world to mistake this for pure bhakti. And as a result of this, they do this practice for a long time, but they find that realization does not come because it is actually not Shuddha Bhakti. Then we go to Sangha Siddha Bhakti. This is another type of practice which appears to be bhakti but is actually not bhakti. In Shastra it is written that a devotee has 26 qualities, like that he's brave, that he's poetic, that he's silent, that he's the best friend of all living entities, that he's always humble, and these are the qualities of a Vaishnava. So a devotee thinks that, oh, if I am cultivating these qualities then it will be bhakti. But these are actually not bhakti. These are considered to be like the parivar or the family members of bhakti. One who has devotional service automatically has all of these qualities. But if independently of Swarup Siddha Bhakti, one is trying to cultivate these qualities, this activity in and of itself is actually not bhakti. And it will not bring realization of Krishna. So these 3 things are there: Swarup Siddha Bhakti, Arup Siddha Bhakti, and Sangha Siddha Bhakti. And the Acharyas have defined these things so that we can be very careful and come into the line of Swarup Siddha Bhakti. Because by practicing Swarup Siddha Bhakti, then 3 results automatically come. One's faith and love begin to grow, one has some realization of Krishna himself, and one becomes thoroughly detached from all material existence. Whereas by practicing Arup Siddha and Sangha Siddha Bhakti, these results will not come, and one will gradually lose faith if he does not have proper association to again bring him into the line of Swarup Siddha Bhakti.
Now I am coming on the subject that why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended to this world. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is explaining. First he told that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to establish Guru Dharma. Then he told that he came to establish Nam Sankirtan. And this is Guru Dharma. After that he told that Anarpita Charini Chira, to sprinkle his mercy, to give all these jivas the same thing which was not given for a long time, and that was a spontaneous love. Rag Marga Prachar. One need to give some way how we can have a spontaneous Braja prem. He want to do. So now he is telling that his main cause to descend this world was to taste the highest mood of Srimati Radhika. What was that? For this, he is quoting a slok of Sarup Bhagavata. Radhaya pranay mahima kiddisha va anay va swadgo janadbhut madhurima kiddisho va madiya sokhan chasya madon bhavatah kiddisham vete lo bhav tad bhavadam samjani sachi garva sindhu. Read the translation.
Desiring to understand the glory of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appears from the womb of Srimati Shati Devi as the moon appears from the ocean.
He is telling that ये सब सिद्धांत गुण कहते ना जुआए ना कहिले केहू इहार अंत नहीं पाए. He is telling that I want to explain the reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. What I have told before, they are not main reason. To preach Nam Sankirtan, to establish Nam Sankirtan, this is the job of Mahavishnu, that was Advaita Shastra. He could have established. But he cannot preach that Braja Prem, the way of Braja Prem, that Raganuga Marga. He cannot. What is Raganuga Marga? Path of a spontaneous love. He cannot give. He can give up to that established Yuga Dharma. So he prayed to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I cannot give this. Please decide. Here Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling. Before this he has told that प्रेम रस निर्यास करिते आस्वादन राग मार्ग भक्ति लोके करिते प्रचारण रसिक शेखर कृष्ण परम पुराण करुण এই हेतु হইতে ইচ্ছা হইলাম. 15 4:15.
The Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. He wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God, and he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Thus he is known as supremely jubilant, Rasika Shekhar, and the most merciful of all, Paramakarun.
He has also told that प्रेम नाम प्रचारिते यही अवतार सत्य यही हेतु किंतु तहाँ बहिरंग fifth and sixth.
I have given the essential meaning of the fourth verse. This incarnation descends to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God. Although this is true, this is but the external reason for the Lord's incarnation. Please hear one other reason, the confidential reason for the Lord's appearance.
So here he is telling that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established Nam Sankirtan everywhere. And he also preached the way of continuous devotion of Brajapati. But also these are external. Then what is main thing? Main cause? Then he is telling here. Oh, all these established rules, Siddhanta, are so secret that we should not discuss in general meetings. Very rare, very rare. But he is telling also that if it will not be given to qualified devotees, then it will go away from this world. What minutes? Repeat.
Srila Gurudev is describing that Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, he is in a dilemma. What is that dilemma? On the one hand, these things are so secret and so confidential that they should not be disclosed. They should not be spoken in public. Yet on the other hand, if these things are not spoken, then they will disappear from the world entirely.
So, I know that this all siddhants are very rare, very confidential. But why I am telling to you the same thing in the line of Krishna Das Kaviraj. If I am not telling all these things to you because you are senior devotees, I know, and you are hearing from so many years and years. In this council there are so many devotees there who are in ISKCON for 25 years or so many years. So I want that this should not go on from this world. If there are some rare devotees even, they should know all these explanations. Why Krishnadas Goswami is explaining now? अतएव कहीं कुछ करिया निगूढ़ बुझबे रसिक जन ना बुझबे मूल. 232.
All these conclusions are unfit to disclose in public, but if they are not disclosed, no one will understand them. Therefore, I shall mention them, revealing only their essence, so that loving devotees will understand them, but fools will not.
Then he is telling, ये सब हृदय धरिए जे नीचा चैतन्य नित्यानंद, ये सब सिद्धांत से पाइबे आनंद, ये सब सिद्धांत है अम्रे रप्लव, भक्तगण कोकिले सर्वदा बल्ल, अभक्त उष्टे रिथे ना है प्रवेश, तबे चित्ते है मोर आनंद विशेष.
Anyone who has captured Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu in his heart will become blissful by hearing all these transcendental conclusions. All these conclusions are just like the newly grown twigs of a mango tree. They are always pleasing to the devotees, who in this way resemble cuckoo birds. The camel-like non-devotees cannot enter into these topics. Therefore there is a special jubilation in my heart.
4 lines more.
For fear of them, the camel-like non-devotees, I do not wish to speak. But if they do not understand, then what can be happier in all the 3 worlds? Therefore, after offering obeisances to the devotees, for their satisfaction, I shall speak without hesitating.
There was a forest. In that forest, there were several mango trees, and also some neem trees. You know, naturally, cuckoo bird will sit on mango trees, and they will taste mango, the manjaris of mango, and that is why they seem very sweet. And other hand, if there are so many mangoes, very sweet, and they are ripen, very tasteful, sweet, fragrant, even crows will connect, sit on mango. They will sit on naturally, and they will take bitter taste of neem, and they will if cockroaches will call them that you should come and taste like me, they will never come, never come. You know camels. What is the habit of camels? They always be in desert lands. No, no mango trees or anything. Only thorns are there. They will not taste anything else. Oh, only thorns. And thorns will make something. And their own blood will come. And they will test their own. Oh, how test. So they are like rest. They will not take it. So he is telling that I am now so happy. My doubts had. I was fearing that they will hear and then they will take some other meanings and they will make mixture. But now I am happy. They will reject this nectar. They will come and boycott. That he is Sahajiya. He is not all in line. Huh? He is real. Like this they will think. And they will never hear all these things. But the correct devotees who are in good association, initiated by a very high class of devotees, always hearing all these things, Chaitanya Charitamrita, in real process, really, they will have some greed for hearing all these things. How we can develop our Krishna concept? So they will hear it very passionately. So he now, out of doubt, oh, I should tell it, because those who are like camel and crow, they will not come and hear. They will boycott. So I was fearing from them, and if they are not listening, they are boycotting, then what harm I should tell? Otherwise, this idea will go away from this world forever. So I must tell. You know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami has written so many things for you. This is our goal. So we must know our goal, and then according to our qualification, we should select our process or path. So Krishna Das Goswami is telling. So I also never have any doubt. I know that those who are sub-qualified, some greed for Krishna consciousness, real bhakti, they will hear. And others will hear and reject. So no problem. Otherwise, from world, this path will go away forever. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami has made, Krishna Bhavanamrita. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti has Govinda Lilamrita. These are our goal, but very secret, only for rare qualified devotees. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he has followed all these things. He has told all the ways, Raganuga, Marga, everything, what Rupa Goswami and others have explained. He has given all in Jai Godha. Anyone can tell, anyone was telling to me that Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, never he has explained these things. But they don't know. They are like ignorant. He has published Jaiva Dharma about in 20 editions from beginning to end. My Gurudev, he was very strict about this, but He has published Jaiva Dharma. What is Jaiva Dharma? In Jaiva Dharma, everything has. So they have told like this, they have idea. You know that Bhakti Vinod Thakur was Kamal Manjari. You know that Srila Prabhupada was Nine Manjari. My Gurudev was Vinod Manjari. If they are not following this line, then how they have this name? Bhakti Vinod Thakur has told his name himself. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. Who gave this name? Of self-realization and all accepted this. Or Guru Maharaj had told his own name with his own mouth. So if they are not following that line, process, Siddha Pranali, that Bhakti Vinod Thakur has told, it has been told by Srila Rupa Goswami. And how it can be? So this is our target or goal. But we should try to follow this from beginning, not from top. This is the thing. That is why for beginners, they have not told that you should follow these things. Ashtakali Leela or Siddha Swarup or all Ekadash modes, 11 modes. But if anyone has so much greed and they are falling, oh, they are so lucky. They are not out of line. So here he is telling, यहाँ कोई अतएव भक्त गणे करी नमस्कार निसंके कहे तार हो चमत्कार.
Therefore, after offering obeisances to the devotees, for the satisfaction of the devotees, I shall speak without hesitating.
You shall note that the translation of Chaitanya Charitamrita is made by himself, Swami Maharaj, Prabhupada. No? He has written himself. He is reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now he is telling, explaining something more. कृष्ण विचार एक आछे अंतरे पूर्णानंद रस स्वरूप सब कहे मोरे.
Once, Lord Krishna considered within his heart, everyone says that I am complete bliss, full of all rasas.
Who is telling? All Gita Raso Vaishaha. That Krishna is ocean of rasa. But in the meantime, same time, he is ocean of rasa and he is also Rasik Shekhar, taster of that rasa. Wow. So he is the Rasi, Rasa Swarup, and third, he is giver of all these rasas. Three things. So, Krishna is thinking himself, I am ocean of rasa. Also it has been told, Aho Bhagyam, Nanda Gop Jauksham, Janamitram, Paramanandam, Purna Brahma Sanatana. Also in Bhakti Rasami Sindhu, he has described all these things. Krishna is ocean of rasa. And in the same time he is the Rasik. Rasik means the taster of all rasas. Ama hoite anandit hoy tribhuvan, ama ke anand dibe aiche kaun jan.
Krishna continued, all the world derives pleasure from me. Is there anyone who can give me pleasure?
Because he is supreme personality of Godhead. Also, he is कोई भी चीज उनसे बचा हुआ नहीं है जो नहीं जानते. Anything is not
unknown to him.
Unknown to him.
Unknown to him. All the rasa, everything he knows. But in the same time, there are two things. Krishna is one rasa and all rasa. What you know? Ek ras and anek ras. Krishna is one rasa. What is the meaning? Krishna is himself Rasaswarup and he knows everything. There is nothing that he does not know. Everything. So he is called in one ras, that is he is knower of all the rasa. That is what word? Oh, Atmaram and Atmakam. He is Atmaram and he is Atmakam.
Self-satisfied and complete in himself.
But in the other hand, he is also Anek Ras. There is something in Radhika and all the gopis that Krishna has not that thing. So Krishna wants to taste all these things. He knows I am a Rasaswarup and he is object of the Ras. He has idea, he has some taste that how he can taste Vasalya Ras, Dasya Ras, Shringar Ras, Madhur Ras, everything. But he is object of love. He is not a self. There is something that he wants to mix both. What is in Jashoda Maya and Nanda Baba, in friends, and also what is the mood of Srimati Radhika and all the gopis. He wants to taste it. So this is, he tested it in the form of only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is something that Krishna does not know. What is that? That Ruha Bhav. Ruha Bhav means Mahabhav of Radhika. He does not know this. The mood of Radhika. He will explain further. So there is something that Krishna does not know. What he does not know, now he is expressing. And for that he came in the shape of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, having the golden complexion of Radhika and internal mood of Srimati Radhika. Now he is telling. Ama haite jagate asambhav, ekli radhate taha koi anubhav.
One who has 100 times more qualities than me could give pleasure to my mind. One more qualified than me is impossible to find in the world. But in Radha alone I feel the presence of one who can give me pleasure.
In Vedas and especially in Vedanta and Srimad Bhagavatam, it has been accepted that there is no one greater than Krishna. Asamurdha tattva, asama urdhva. Any word?
Krishna is unequaled and unsurpassed.
He is unequal. But Krishna is telling himself that in whole world none are qualified like me. But only I know that only Srimati Radhika is more qualified than me. And how? He is telling again. Koti kam jini roop, jadapi amar असमर्थ माधुर्य साम्य नहीं जार मोर रूपे अपायित करे त्रिभुवन राधा दर्शने मोर जुड़ाए.
Although my beauty defeats the beauty of 10 million cupids, although it is unequaled and unsurpassed, and although it gives pleasure to the three worlds, seeing Srimati Radharani gives pleasure to my eyes.
मोर रूपे आपायित करे त्रिभुवन राधा दर्शने मोरे जुड़ाए नहीं. 243. मोर बंसी गीते आकर्षित त्रिभुवन राधार बचने मोर हरे अमर समान.
The vibration of my transcendental flute attracts the three worlds, but my ears are enchanted by the sweet words of Srimati Radhika.
यद्यपि अमार गंधे जगत सुगंध मोर चित्त घ्राण करे राधा अंग गंध.
Although my body lends fragrance to the entire creation, the scent of Radharani's limbs captivates my mind and heart.
यद्यपि अमार रसे जगत सुरस राधार अधर रसे आमा करेगा.
Although the entire creation is full of different tastes because of me, I am charmed by the nectarian taste of the lips of Srimati Radharani.
यद्यपि अमार स्पर्शे कोटिन्दु शीतल राधिकार स्पर्शे अमार करे सुशीतल.
And although my touch is cooler than 10 million moons, I am refreshed by the touch of Srimati Radhika.
এই মত জগতে সুখে আমি হেতু রাধিকা রূপ গুণ আমার জীবাতু.
Thus, although I am the source for the happiness of the entire world, the beauty and attributes of Sri Radhika are my life and soul.
এই মত অনুভব আমার প্রতি বিচারি দেখে যদি সব বিপরীত.
In this way, my affectionate feelings for Srimati Radharani may be understood, but on analysis, I find them to be contradictory.
But now he is thinking again. What I have told that Radhika is Guru of Krishna Prem. We should come to 11. Krishna has accepted this. What?
The gopis are the helpers, teachers, friends, wives, dear disciples, confidants, and serving maids of Lord Krishna. Sahaya Guru Vasisya, Bhujisya Vandavastaya, Satyam Vadami Te Parta Gopya Kim Me Bhavantina. This is a verse from Gopi Premamrita. O Partha, I speak to you the truth. The gopis are my helpers, my teachers, disciples, servants, friends, and consorts. I do not know what they are not to me.
So he is telling that I have read this prem, love and affection in the school of Srimati Radhika and Gopis. They are my also teachers of love and affection. They have accepted himself. So now he is telling that one thing is that there is something in me. What is that thing in me? That Radhika becomes unmatta, like mad, by taking my everything. Something is there. So he is telling that now I also realize this, that what I have told up this, all are like opposite. राधार दर्शने मोर जुड़ाए नयन हमार दर्शने राधा सुखे आगमन.
My eyes are fully satisfied when I look upon Srimati Radharani. But by looking upon me, she becomes even more advanced in satisfaction.
He is telling that if I see gopis and especially Radhika, I become so happy. And Radhika is seeing Krishna and she is becoming also so happy. But if in comparison we will see, then we will see that Radhika pleasure is lakhs and lakhs, millions times more than Krishna. Because Krishna is accepting this. So there is something in me that Srimati Radhika sees me and feels so much happiness. So what is in me that thing? That makes Srimati Radhika so mad. What is that? परस्पर बेनु बीते हरे चेतन मोर भ्रमे तमाले रे करे अंगिन.
The flute-like murmur of the bamboos rubbing against one another steals Radharani's consciousness, for she thinks it to be the sound of my flute, and she embraces a tamal tree, mistaking it for me.
They are also telling that, oh, when I play on flute, all are attracted. Even rivers, even deers, clouds, everyone is attracted. But when I hear the sound of, so sweet sound of Radhika, then I also forget to play on flute. So Radhika words are so sweet. Her songs and dance are so sweet that even I forget to play on. There are so many examples in the Goswami Granth like this. So, what is that? He is telling that something in me, that seeing this Srimati Radhika becomes so much ecstatic, joyful, that she becomes mad, totally mad, and more bhrame tamalare kare alingan. I never become like such that I embraced Kadamba tree. But Srimati Radhika, some semblance, what? Or that tree is somewhat like black. Green, but not actually green. Some like that, blackish. And also some crooked like Krishna. So some resemblance like this. And Srimati Radhika becomes mad and he embraces that. But one thing you can mark, Uddhav is like Krishna. So beautiful like Krishna. Same age. Krishna has given his own pitambar, garments, everything.
All dress and garland.
His beauty is also like Krishna, blackish, same complex. Gopis are seeing Uddhav, but they don't embrace. But they can embrace Tamal tree. So who is doing? Prem is such a thing. Then they always save gopis. They may be so much mad, but Uddhav they cannot embrace. But trees they can. Even they can embrace their black red also. They can chastise black clouds. Oh, thinking that way. Then Krishna alinga painu janama safal ei sukhe magna rahe vriksha kari kole.
Srimati Radhika thinks, I have gotten the embrace of Shri Krishna. Oh, now my life is fulfilled. Thus she remains immersed in pleasing Krishna, taking the tree in her arms.
अनुकूल बातें यदि पाए मोरा बंधा उड़िया पड़िते चाहे प्रेमे है अंध.
When a favorable breeze carries to her the fragrance of my body, she is blinded by love and tries to fly into that breeze.
तांबूल चर्बित जबे करे आस्वादन आनंद समुद्र डूबे किछुई ना जाने.
When she tastes the betel chewed by me, she merges in an ocean of joy and forgets everything else.
So what are the reasons Krishna has no Mahabhav, no Madana. But Jashoda, Srimati Radhika has that. That Srimati Radhika can enjoy all these things and Krishna can't enjoy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to be like Radhika. So he is telling again, Amar Sangame Radha paye je ananda, Satamukhe boli, tabu na pai tar anta.
Even with hundreds of mouths, I could not express the transcendental pleasure she derives from my association.
Lila ante sukhe, ihar angir madhuri, tahadik sukhe ami apana pasari.
Seeing the luster of her complexion after our pastimes together, I forget my own identity in happiness.
Dohar je sab samaras bharta muni jane, amar braj ras sehu nahi jane.
The sage, Bharat, has said that the mellows of the lover and the beloved are equal, but he does not know the mellows of my Vrindavan.
He had no idea of transcendental Braja love. That he has told, that in Krishna and beloved and beloved, oh, some equal love, but he does not know anything about this. Oh, अन्य संगमे आमी जतो पाई जतो सुख पाई तहाँ में राधा संगे सत अधिकारी.
The happiness I feel when meeting Radharani is 100 times greater than the happiness I get from meeting others.
So, in conclusion, Krishna is doing conclusion. 261. Tate jani more ache, mute ache kono ek ras, amar mohini radha tare kare bas.
Considering this, I can understand that some unknown mellow in me controls the entire existence of my captivator, Srimati Radharani.
Prabodhananda Saraswati has compiled a sloka about this. Bansi karan nipatita, skalitam sikhandam, bhrashtan chapi tabasanam vajaraj sona, jasya kataksha sarghat vimutsitasya, tang radhika paracharam ikhadarasya. What it means? That when Krishna was going in cowherd with lakhs and lakhs cows and lakhs cowherds. Baldev was somewhat advanced because he knew all things. And at that time, Krishna was some behind, taking his float in his lips. Srimati Radhika was standing with so many gopis in a kunj behind. When Krishna saw her, at once his float came down from his hand. And his peacock feathers, and he was at once out of sense and he began to fall down. At that time, Madhumangal was there. He knocked down Krishna. Oh, father is here, Nanda Baba, Yashoda Maya, and all that. So be careful. So he knocked like so. So Sri Krishna is himself admitting that I have so much happiness to see Srimati Radhika, but Radhika's happiness is lakhs and lakhs times more than me. So there is something in me that Radhika becomes a mad. What is that? What is that? I don't know. I want to know that what is in me, but I cannot. Because the thing by which one can know is not in me. And what is that? Mahabhav. So I have to borrow from Radhika this mode. Then I can know that what is in Hindi. What is like four Madhuri? What? Ben Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, Prem Madhuri. हम होते राधा पाए जे जातीय सुख कहाँ स्वादिते आमी सदाई पुन्नु.
I'm always eager to taste the joy that Radharani derives from me.
Krishna, that I should be mad for to sing my root face. I should be mad. But I cannot be mad. Why? Because Krishna love and affection is divided in so many fractions. And Gopis love and affection is undivided in four. कृष्ण का क्या है? बहुनिष्ठ. And Gopis love is ekaniष्ठ. What is ekaniष्ठ?
Single pointed, one pointed.
Like you can understand that when Krishna is in Dwarka, when Rukmini was married to Krishna, his love and affection was one pointed and full. But when she got married and came in the Krishna house, and he had one child, Pradyumna. Then his love was Rukmani's love was divided into three. One for Krishna, one for Pradyumna, and one for household. Again one son, 10 sons, then divided into 11. And one daughter, then and Krishna has so many wives and so many children, about from
1,60,000.
1,60,000. His love and affection were divided into so many things. So he cannot be happy like Gopis. Never he cannot. সেই সুখ মাধুর্য নানা যত্ন করি আমি নারী আস্বাদিতে সেই সুখ মাধুর্য ঘ্রাণে লোভ বাড়ে চিত্তে রস আস্বাদিতে আমি কইল অবতার প্রেম রস আস্বাদিব বিবিধ প্রকার.
I'm always eager to taste the joy that Radharani derives from me. In spite of various efforts, I have not been able to taste it, but my desire to relish that pleasure increases as I smell its sweetness. I have appeared in the world to taste mellows. I shall taste the mellows of pure love in various ways.
তাহা শিখাইব লীলা আচরণ দ্বারা এই তিন তৃষ্ণা মোর রহিল পুরাণ বিজাতীয় ভাবে নহে তাহা আস্বাদন.
I shall teach devotional service which springs from ragamag, from the spontaneous love of the devotees, by demonstrating it myself with my pastimes. But these three desires have not been satisfied, for one cannot enjoy them in a contrary position.
राधिकार भाव कांति अंगीकार बिना এই তিন সুখ কবু নহে আস্বাদন.
Unless I accept the luster of the ecstatic love of Sri Radhika, these three desires cannot be fulfilled.
রাধিকার ভাव अंगीकार ধরিতার বর্ণ তিন সুখ আস্বাদিতে হব অবতীর্ণ.
Therefore, assuming Radharani's sentiments and bodily complexion, I shall descend to fulfill these three desires.
That is why Krishna has appeared, having borrowed the golden beauty of Srimati Radhika and intrinsic form of Mahabhav. He borrowed from Radhika, and he came in the shape of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why? To test his three desires, especially. And secondly, by Nam Sankirtan, he will give the path of continuous spontaneous devotion, which had not given for since long time. This was his mode of Sri Krishna. That is why he came. At that time, there was time of Jugavatar. And at that time, what was Juga Dharma? To preach name Sankirtan. So he accepted name Sankirtan, but in a special way. And what was that special way? With love and affection, which cannot be given by Advaita Acharya or any Ramchandra, not by any. Then Nam, Prem, Mala, Gathi, Paralo, Sabare. What is the meaning? Nam, Prem. This is like a thread. And Nam, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
These are like pearls, jewels and pearls. But given in a string of love and affection. And then he went in Vrindavan, went in south, everywhere, and he preached this thing, Rag Marga, to all through Nam Sankirtan. Thus everything was done. But Chaitanya, Krishna is thinking, but when I should go, descend, this was not certain. In the meantime, Advaita Acharya descended. He came to establish Yuga Dharma, Nam Sankirtan. But he found himself that I am not qualified to give name prem both. Then he thought that I should please my Prabhu. How I can please him? He read a slok from any Shastra that even some lips of tulasi with Ganges water, if I can offer to him, and I will call, he must come. And that is why he took some lips of tulasi, and then he used to give it to Ganges water to Krishna and call him Krishna. Come on, Krishna, come on, Krishna. And that is why at that time he descended in the first Sandhya of Kali. First Sandhya means? Beginning of this Kali. It may be that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come later on, but only by the prayer of Advaita. He descended at that time, and he played in a role of Srimati Radhika, that quickly over whole world. He gave this Rag Marga.
Bhakti.
If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had not descended, and his associate like Rupa Goswamis, Sarup Damodar, Rayaramanand had not come. Oh, it was sure that Kalki Bhagwan should have come and cut it all and then Satyajit. But in this Kali Yuga, Gaur Pranam.
And one thing is there. It appears by these statements that Mahaprabhu came to taste these three different tastes. That means in his Aprakat Dham, which is called Abhinna Vrindavan, he is not tasting these rasas. He came here, descended here only to taste.
In Braja, everything is there. In Golok Vrindavan.
Now he's asking is Mahaprabhu is testing or this thing or not?
In Shwetadip, in his Aprakat Dham, because Mahaprabhu is there in Aprakat Dham, in his Shwetadip, which is Abhin Vrindavan in Shwetadip. if he is not tasting there and then
They are testing there. But a long time it has been not given to this world. This is the thing. This is their one moment is here equal to lakhs and lakhs Kali Yuga and Satyug and all these things. There everything is there. But what will be of these worlds? How this Jew will know all these things and practice, and again they will go to Golok Vrindavan.
so main cause is to give it or to taste it. If we say taste it, this means that he is not tasting there, he is coming here to taste.
Here it will be told like this. There is something malice of language. Really, it can be told that he has come to sprinkle the mercy to give the jiva the raga and gurma. Because he is so karun,
So merciful.
but he is also Rashik Shekhar.
So no, sir.
He will come here in this Vrindavan, Pragat Vrindavan, and enjoy everything. Gaur Pramanam.
Maharaj, could I ask a question? First of all, I really commend you for holding a class on the Chaitanya Charitamrita and discussing these topics among devotees, because they're very nectarian and they truly nourish the soul. And I thank you so much for holding this class.
Also explain tomorrow about these things. I have not explained all this.
Explained all this.
Something is behind in this.
But I have... yes.
I want to give this thing. What is our real object? That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us. We should know. And then we should fix our way how we can receive this. If you are ignorant of these things, whole life, always not hearing all these things, how anyone can know all these things? Only this is true. But this in process, only very rare person will come. They may hear, but a greed will come to very rare person. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come, descended to give these things. So why we should be
denying, not disclosing.
So we should hear, because we are one of the rare devotees in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes, Maharaj. Now, on this very issue, there's tremendous interest right now in the Western world about the feminine side of God, about the goddess, the feminine side of God. And unfortunately, as you have said, Vaishnavas have this reluctance to share about Radharani, which I find silly, to tell you the truth. Because we say we must protect Radharani, but Radharani is protecting us. I don't feel she needs protection, she's protecting
You are
us.
going to protect, you will hear.
But, no, my question is that devotees ought to share about Radharani. There's a tremendous interest today about the feminine side of God. However, there was one major obstacle to people accepting Vaishnavism about Radharani. And that is that these same scriptures that so eloquently explain the feminine side of God better than any scripture in the world, these very same scriptures also say that women are less intelligent. And this statement closes the mind of people to hear about Vaishnavism. How can this contradiction be resolved?
That is why I told the definition of Uttama Bhakti. But there is no worldly desire at all. No conception of Striling and pulling, male and female at all. For them this is. It is not for all persons. So first we will have to give up all these things. But we should know something about it. But when we will give up all kinds of dualities, male, female, everything, and their lust and everything. Only all the activities will be to please only to Krishna. Then, so we should come in this platform and we should try to know everything on being on that platform where there is no worldly desire at all. Even there is no wish of salvation or mukti even. Even they have passed away to serve Narayana and Dwarkadhish even, Ram even. So high class of platform is there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this rare thing. But if you are not discussing something, then it will be vanished from
Yes, disappear from the soul and child.
So it is not for all. But I know one thing, that we should consider that there is a iron and magnet. Magnet cannot attract wood, whether it is pure or empty. It cannot attract gold, silver, diamond, water, or anything else. Only pure iron he can attract. So, in Bhakti cult also like this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to this world. He like that magnet. So those who are in idea to serve like Narayana, those who have so many worldly desires like Dhruv and others, they will go to Ramanuj, they will go to Madhvacharya, they will go to smart Brahmins, they will go to other places, they will come to Christianity, they will go to Buddha. They cannot come to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are lucky anyhow. We are so much fortunate that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has attracted. So we have some special mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By constitution, we have something of that love. Otherwise, we have not